Live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment explains it. I am going to be explaining about some folks, or just kind of talking about some folks that have been in T'Challa's Rogues Gallery. What? T'Challa's Rogues Gallery? Yeah, T'Challa has a Rogues Gallery. It just hasn't been developed. He's got a bunch of villains just sitting around that they don't ever come back. I don't understand why none of them ever come. Well, I do understand why some of them never come back, but that ain't no excuse. Um, so one in particular we're going to talk about that is very, 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 very underdeveloped, as most of the villains outside of Klaw and Killmonger usually are. Just we drop in a bucket and then we don't give them as much thought as we need to. But I'm gonna put you up on the Soul Strangler and we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about how he could fit back into the T'Challa mythos now. But before we do that, we're gonna do what we need to do so we can do what we want to do, and that is comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it if you're digging. If you're digging what a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share, because edutainment, what I do. So let me get to doing it right now, with the help, of course, of some classic comics. Right here, we looking at the first appearance ever of the Soul Strangler. Who is the Soul Strangler, you might ask? Okay, originally, as he appeared in Black Panther number 22, the Soul Strangler was an enforcer for the Ku Klux Klan back in the 1860s. So if you was doing something like trying to be independent as a free man, if you were trying to do things for yourself as a free man, then the Klan will come and visit you and tell you, hey, don't be doing that, boy. And that is essentially who the Soul Strangler was. But in Monica Lynn's imagination, she interjected T'Challa as being present when the Soul Strangler was, bullying and harassing, newly freed Black people. And T'Challa was their protector. And the Soul Strangler went from just being an enforcer to, as you can see on the cover of this comic, taking on a supernatural quality. So the ambiguity of whether or not the Soul Strangler is just a regular old man, or if the Soul Strangler was supernatural, at this point, is left up to the imagination in this comic. Let me show you what I mean. Monica Lynn's mom is telling T'Challa about their ancestor Caleb, and how the Ku Klux Klan will come and visit him and threaten him and all of that kind of thing. Look at him. He live in a rundown shanty. Maybe they're just trying to get him off the land. But at this point, Monica interjects T'Challa into that story. And so here's T'Challa coming down on him, and Monica's ancestor Caleb being a little more braver than what he was. So later on, when they come to get Caleb, T'Challa's there to help him fight. But then here comes this Soul Strangler fella. And now, is that a real skeletal hand, or are those gimmicks and tricks? Now here, that the stallion in this particular instance seems to take on an almost supernatural quality. And if he's so supernatural, why does he have to use a pistol? And here's Caleb eventually getting hung. Now, why T'Challa didn't prevent that in Monica's imagination, I don't know, because it happened. And all the imagination in the world is not going to change the fact that your ancestor got lynched. And bottom line, we're looking at the Soul Strangler there as he tries to hang T'Challa, but we know T'Challa ain't going for it. Knocks him off of his steed and knocks him out, which was weird. Kind of weird to me. It was kind of weird. And then we don't see the Soul Strangler anymore at all until Marvel Premiere number 52 on the cover. There he is, the Soul Strangler. Now, again, this comic book is mostly car chases because it takes place in 1980, and in 1980, car chases were very popular in comics. And then we get to this meeting where I think they're called the inner circle, or the secret circle, or anyway, there's a clan meeting, and then there's also like a group within the clan. So it's like a group within, I just said a group within the clan. Okay. And T'Challa spying on them, and out of nowhere comes the Soul Strangler. Now, if you look in the text, it says T'Challa has never seen the shocking apparition that now confronts him. And that's true, because in Jungle Action number 22, that was in Monica Lynn's imagination. But then we find out that this Soul Strangler is actually a living, breathing being. And, well, I don't know about living or breathing, but definitely a being that's not imaginary, because here he is and folks can see him. And in fact, the Klansmen are tripping because they like, oh, I think he's overdoing it. He's doing too much with that outfit and the horse and whatnot. Flaming pitchfork. And discovers T'Challa in the rafters. T'Challa decides to attack him, and he turns into a mist and melts away. So, does the Soul Strangler have supernatural powers? Is the Soul Strangler a supernatural being? And we see him again here in Black Panther, well, Marvel Premiere number 53. And let's just get to the showdown on the island where Monica Lynn's ancestor Caleb pops up again. So this is an island of apparitions? Boom, here we are in this glade. T'Challa's pursuing the bad guys. And on this island, here we go. Boom, out comes the Soul Strangler. There's Caleb right there. And again, Soul Strangler and T'Challa going at it. Now, T'Challa beats the Soul Strangler. He seems to beat the Soul Strangler rather easily in all of their encounters. But again, not able to bring him to justice because he dissolves, disappears, goes away. So now, would the Soul Strangler make a good recurring villain? I say yes, if his powers are truly supernatural in nature and it's not just a guy like doing a Mysterio and making himself look like something he really isn't. If he's really a supernatural being with minor supernatural powers, that's a good foil for T'Challa because T'Challa's got to use his shadow physics to figure out a way to deal with this apparition. Meanwhile, this apparition is being malevolent towards Black people. This apparition is a throwback from the Klan. That's a perfect foil. Ku Klux Klan, Black Panther. You know, that same kind of dynamic that was going on in Jungle Action back in the 70s. The Soul Strangler looks like that he's a manipulator, that he manipulates situations, controls people, does things like that. Maybe as stories go on and develop, we can see that the supernatural being that is the Soul Strangler has powers to a certain degree where he can manipulate people's emotions and make them think and feel a certain way, a la Hate Monger. I think the Soul Strangler has amazing potential, more potential than 3 lousy appearances in all of comicdom. What do y'all think about the Soul Strangler? Do you think that he's a viable villain for a much welcome mix to T'Challa's menagerie of ne'er-do-wells and just build it up and develop more stories with the Soul Strangler in them so that he becomes more of a player? And when we've established the Soul Strangler as a for sure villain of the Black Panther, then we could possibly branch the Soul Strangler out and have him face other beings. Maybe perhaps even face somebody like Brother Voodoo or Doctor Strange or one of the other many magic users in the Marvel Universe. There's a lot of applications that can be done with this character. Not to mention, I would love to see Hasbro do an action figure of the Soul Strangler, complete with Steed. Or we could have a Soul Strangler and his Steed could be a Build-A-Figure. Either way, we bring more attention to the Soul Strangler. I think the Soul Strangler is a viable villain. I just think there wasn't enough development done for this character. I think he was just something that popped up because we were dealing with the Black Panther and we were dealing with the Ku Klux Klan. And when that storyline was over, we thought, yeah, we're not going to use the Soul Strangler anymore. What do y'all think? Should the Soul Strangler be an addition to T'Challa's Rose Gallery? Let me know in the comments. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.